What's up guys, just showing you guys a session I did yesterday, which was another breakthrough for me. I did double 30 kilogram long cycle and I did 5 sets of 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off at 6 reps per minute. So 12 reps per set and 60 total. It was the first time I was able to hit that pace for that format with the double 30 kgs. And I posted it to Instagram, and in the caption I kind of made the remark that really, it doesn't seem daunting to me to get to 40 or 50 reps with double 32 kilograms in 10 minutes at this point. Even though there's still like quite a bit of work to be done, it's not really intimidating to me anymore, because kind of like I feel like the hardest part is already done. Like obviously, like maybe it doesn't get easier, but I made the remark on Instagram that the hardest part was kind of like hardening the mind, and I feel like I did that. And now it's just kind of rinse and repeat, you know. Now it's just about just putting in the work and staying injury free and staying on top of my general physical preparation. But like the mental game, I think I'm pretty on top of it now. And somebody asked me, like actually a friend of the channel, asked me to make a video about that, about hardening the mind. And I've talked about this before. I've said that kettlebell sport is 100% technique, 100% physical, and 100% mental. So you need all three aspects. And the mental part is an interesting one, and I've talked about different strategies, right? Like you can maybe use different mind games to help you stay consistent, to help you stay on track. But I think one aspect that doesn't get talked about a lot is that there are literally adaptations on a neurological level that go far beyond like just simple mindset tricks, quote unquote. And David Goggins, the famous ultra runner, talked about it, and he calls it callousing the mind, right? So just like you grow calluses on your palms, you also grow calluses on your mind. And I think there's something to it, and we know that the brain is actually very plastic. So it's like this concept in neuroscience is called neuroplasticity, that the brain constantly adapts to what you're doing basically and grows new connections, etc. And I feel this is something that really happens in kettlebell sport specifically, because I believe kettlebell sport is mentally one of the hardest things you can do. Like, I know, maybe it sounds kind of arrogant, because like basically every sport when you train it at a high level is difficult mentally, no doubt about it. But just the act that you have to exert yourself physically so much under discomfort, and the discomfort is not only due to the physical exertion, like in running, where you're running and your muscles are hurting and your lungs are burning and your heart rate is up and your lactate is through the roof. Yes, you have that in kettlebell sport as well to some extent, but then you also have like external pressure, literally, like the bells sitting on your chest, restricting your breathing. And at the same time, you can't really get too hyped up to cope with it, right? Because in, for example, running, you can, like, your adrenaline is through the roof, and yes, there is some technique involved in running, I'm not denying that, but you can go really deeply into fight or flight, right? And just go like full aggression, barbarian mode. And in kettlebell sport, you can't really do that, because you have to control your effort and control your technique and still make every rep as efficient as possible. And there's a lot of micro adjustments happening and a lot of relatively fine motor skill, where when you go too far into barbarian mode, your technique is going to go to shit and you're going to fail. And that's something, by the way, I feel with the heavy bells, 30 kg and up, especially, where really each rep, each clean, each jerk demands a lot more attention, because I know if I like just fuck up something, it's going to cost me dearly. Whereas with the lighter bells, yeah, maybe, yeah, you just kind of did a little bit of a press out or lighter, I don't know, pulled a little bit too much too early. Yeah, it's going to cost you some energy, but it's not going to be that costly. But with any weight in kettlebell sport, you have the physical discomfort, and then you have to teach yourself to really relax your mind and relax your body, your muscles, your breathing under that discomfort. And I feel that really changes your brain, like physically. I really believe that. And you see that kind of in different sports. I remember the guy who climbed the tallest building where Red Bull did the documentary, and Alex Holland or something. And he's been like doing those insane free solo climbs for all of his life. And they showed him like extreme images, like graphic, I don't know, violent imagery. And his brain didn't react as a normal person would, right? He didn't show that much of an emotional reaction. And like that's the same thing you would get with like a sociopath, or specifically a psychopath who doesn't feel empathy. And that's why psychopaths are generally overrepresented in certain high stress professions, right? But like, I'm not a psychopath, right? I can feel empathy. And I feel this act of really controlling your emotions and not reacting strongly under extreme distress is highly trainable. And once you have done it, things will become much easier. So like the question originally on Instagram was like, how did you harden the mind? And I feel like just training kettlebell sport and pushing through the discomfort, and do that for like a full year, a couple of years, like, but at least a full year of like super regular training, I feel it's going to like, you're going to feel it happen. And can it be like maladaptive? That's an interesting question. Maybe I should make a whole video on that. I believe it can. Like sometimes when sometimes with really high level kettlebell lifters, you get like this vibe from them, and you only get that vibe from like, sometimes like in the military, like certain people like operators, etc. can give you that vibe. It's like this, you feel like, okay, something a little bit weird, like the guy is a little bit nuts, right? And that's, I feel, if you like a sport like kettlebell lifting, probably you're going to do better at it when you have a little bit of a darkness in you. Because there was a quote about powerlifting I remember reading like 2 decades ago, and I don't know who said it, but they said, if you're going to be just as happy peeling potatoes as deadlifting 800 pounds, you're going to be peeling fucking potatoes, not deadlifting 800 pounds. And I felt like I don't know why it's peeling potatoes, like I feel it's like a bad example, but the point is like, if you are going to be just as happy not doing that stuff, you're probably not going to do it, right? So for certain things, you're going to find people who are just a little bit crazy, right? And yeah, that's kind of like the thing. I think you probably have to go really far. You have to have that intrinsic motivation that probably comes with some kind of internal like darkness, for lack of a better word. Like just this week there was backyard ultra marathon in Germany, which is basically you run one loop of 6.7 kilometers and you have 1 hour to do it, and you have to do it within 1 hour, and then they just keep running until only one guy is left. And they ran for like 4 straight days, I believe. And their record is like, I think the world record is like 119 rounds. So that's 119 hours and 1 loop per hour. So I don't know how many kilometers it is, but a lot, right? So you're not going to do that if you're like like if you're normal, let's put it that way. And that's like probably still a bit more extreme than kettlebell sport, but like, yeah, that's like probably the two pieces of advice I can give. Like, be a little bit crazy, but like with a caveat, man. You don't have, like, I don't think you have to be like extremely like a maniac to just benefit of the physical advantages you can get from kettlebell sport. That's when you want to get to like master of sport level. Like, be a little bit crazy. If you want to go really like push your potential, you have to be a little bit crazy. And the other advice is like, you're going to build calluses on your mind. You just have to keep training. See you guys.